Hi all, welcome all to the module 2 Management and Entrepreneurship 18E51. In the first module we learnt about what are the management functions, how exactly the management of anything flows, starting from the planning, forecasting and then the planning and what are the types of the plans. And third one, the next step after planning is to organize the resources. So how exactly the human resources plays a major important role along with the equipments to manage any kind of production or any kind of planning to be done in order to frame a project and to make it a successful one. All this we are going to discuss in organizing and staffing. Basically, organizing and staffing together form the backbone of any business. Organizing, as the name itself says, that it is a process of prescribing format relationships among the people, and it possesses the formal relationships among the people and the resources in order to achieve the goals. So, an organization should be designed to clarify who is to do what and what are the responsibilities of every person, and to remove the obstacles, maybe in terms of communication, maybe in terms of any obstacles that was that is seen. If at all it is not to be removed, then it is not going to make us to go to the success. So this kind of organization should be designed to clarify any kind of doubts and to make sure that everybody is designated with their responsibilities so that there will not be any confusion of the roles. So the the performance hindrance that is caused because of the confusion and the uncertainty of the assignment, and to furnish the clarity in the decision making and the clarity in the communication network. So the organization will become successful only when there is a clarity in the communication right from the top to the bottom. So the organization can be defined as a system of cooperated activities of two or more persons as defined by Chester Bernard. Organization can also be defined as the organization process, the structure, the framework on which the management or the enterprise is based upon. So there are different type of definitions for the organization, where we are going to see how organization could be seen from the perspective of the clarity of the communication, or the word the organization can be used. Normally, the word organization can be used in two different ways. One is to establish an enterprise, and the other one is to arrange the activities and to establish the formal relationships among the employees. The nature and the characteristics of the organization can be understood in different ways. The nature of the organizations can be listed out to an array of the statements. The first one, if we see the nature of the organization is made up of group of people, because it involves two or more people where the organization is going to handle different kind of activities. The organization comes into the existence when a group of people are they come close together in order to form in order to do a activity, or in order to work for a common cause. So the second one, the nature of the organization is the organization aims at the common goals but not the personal goals. There will be many people involved in an organization, but the goal will be common and they will be working at the different levels to reach the goal. So the common goals or the objectives will be given to every level of employee, which is going to form the basis or the foundation which brings in the cooperation among all the activities, and to make sure that the cooperation that exists between the employees will drive them towards the success of the objective. So these are always separate from the common goal and the personal goals of any employee. So the organizations have both horizontal and vertical relationships. An organization creates the different relationships among the superiors and the subordinates, and the different functions like production, marketing, finance are integrated to achieve the results. But the production manager, marketing manager, finance manager, they form the horizontal relationship, whereas the subordinates from the production team to the manager will form the vertical relationship. The duties and the responsibilities are also defined and they are integrated together. When we see the third most important nature of the organization, we understood that there are horizontal and the vertical relationships. Now coming on to the next nature of the organization establishes authority or chain of command. So organization always establishes clearly the flow of authority from higher level to the lower levels, thereby forming a chain of command or hierarchical chain. So the next nature of the organization is the dynamics of the organization. Organization involves the human side as well as the machine side. So the organization which involves the human side, which are connected through the sentiments, attitudes, and then the behaviors of the individuals and the groups. Hence, it is going to be very dynamic in nature. So we have to deal with every nature in this dynamic flow. That is, every person's attitude, every person's sentiments, every person's behavioral patterns. And since this is going to change from one person to another person, the organization is said to be dynamic in nature. So, what is the importance or the purpose of an organization? Purpose of the organization is to conduct an activity which is going to be on the business side. So the importance or purpose of the organization can be defined in many ways. So the one of such importance or the purpose of the organization is that organization facilitates the administration. We know that the organization facilitates the administration by avoiding the wastage of efforts to give the clear cut flow, and the person to whom they are reporting, it avoids the overlapping of the duties and then the confusions among the individuals, and it always defines the responsibilities of each and every person on the role, and it avoids the duplication of the work. So the expansion of the companies can be easily done, and the production widespread units, and then if the expansion of the companies and the production, the widespread units which are going with the different kind of units or the process that is involved in it, and then the geographically spread working units, and the invariable dimensions or the invisible divisions which are there, and the probable global operations, etc. These are all dependent on the proper organization structure. So the proper organizational structure of the company is to be established in the beginning itself, so that there will not be any confusion, or there will not be any particular confusion in the communication network. So the organization, next most important part is that the organization helps in the optimum utilization of the resources. In a sound organization, there is always an effort to reduce the wastage and to increase the productivity. And there is a increasing in the productivity definitely increases the profit of an organization. This reduces the production cost as well. So in a sound organization, there is always an effort to reduce the wastage and to make it the minimum effort with the maximization in the profit. This can be done with the optimization of the resources. So this is to be done to give the right person to the right job, to properly allocate the work in the various divisions, to give the planning in advance, and to determine and assign the work appropriately, to utilize the manpower and other facilities effectively. When I say that the right person, the right job, here if we take an example of an accounts department, if we give the accounts department person and any other activity, then it is going to slow down the person's productivity, and it is going to assign a different person altogether to complete this work as well, to support that person. So the accounts department should be given the accounting, and then the production department should be given any technical work. So there should not be any overlapping or underutilization of any person. And the planning should be given in advance, so that the other departments will align their work in appropriately in line with the planning that is to be done, so as to achieve the goal appropriately. So once the planning is done, proper timing will also be given. Once the proper timing is given, the activities will go smoothly, and the next person will come to know whether there would be any kind of delay due to any kind of maintenance problems, or it would be in line, so that they can arrange the manpower and they can align the works in the next processes. So all in all, this kind of the importance or the purpose of this organization will always go with the proper. So to utilize the maximum manpower, this is very much required. So next one, what is the another one? Another importance is that organization facilitates the coordination and direction. When we say the organization facilitates the coordination and direction, so the organization facilitates the cooperation and direction. So when the employees are involved in any kind of organization where two or more people are involved, their activities should be aligned. They have to coordinate with each other so that the direction will be the direction whatever that is given to achieve the common goal would be attained without any extra effort. So organization is the best way of achieving the proper coordination. If we organize every work together, if we provide the direction, then obviously the objective will be achieved by an enterprise. So the organization facilitates the growth and the diversification. Basically, any organization which facilitates the growth, which definitely demonstrate the skill of cooperation, because an organization always try to make the best use of the talent that is hired and the resources that are already there in the place. So even if at all the talents and then the resources are aligned in the proper direction, then it is very easy to achieve the goals. So in order to achieve the objective, both these talents and the resources are aligned properly, and there will be a clear cut of instructions or the clear cut directions that is given, the proper direction to give the design of the work, and the authority that is ensured gives the talented forces a clear cut direction in order to understand the work and to achieve the goal. So there will not be any diversification. Even if the diversification is done, there will be the proper direction to where and when the diversification has to happen and to reach the diversification goal also. So if we see there is this kind of aligned workforces will definitely reach the growth very fast, and then they will be able to sustain the growth also. So the organization stimulates the creativity. So where there is a innovation, there is always a way that how the new product can emerge from the talent forces. So the good organization always provides the proper opportunities, and it stimulates the minds of the talent forces whichever they are hired, and they create an environment which is going to be creative and which stimulates the growth of this creativity among the people. So it creates it stimulates the creativity to all the people at all the levels, so that it will put together, it is going to create a pool of creativity or the pool of talents, and it makes the people to be creative, and it initiates the work in a creative way. So the kind of creativity that is created by the workforces and by the organization will definitely leads to the specialization in an area, in any areas for that matter, and it will be definitely beneficial to the company, so that the product that emerge from that particular organization will be very innovative and will stick on to the maximum popularity in the market, and it will be very beneficial for both the employees as well as employees. Now if we think about the organization, that organization always enlarges the abilities of the employees. So the different kind of opportunities that are given to the employees will test their mettle, that is will test their abilities to work in a particular area, and it always provides the job rotation. The organization which gives the job rotation will make the employees to work in a different role, and it gives the job enlargement, and it also gives the job enrichment, thereby enlarging the abilities of the employees. If a person is given the in charge of the production unit, and the person, if the same person is given the customer service after some certain stipulated time, then both the places the person is going to work to the best of the abilities, and if required the training could be given, and that person will become eligible for both the posts once they achieve the kind of growth that is required. So the person will be testing his or her ability in the customer service as well as in the production unit. Thereby organizations are going to give environment to enlarge the abilities of the employees, and it provides a competitive environment. And So it does not only provide the healthy and a competitive environment, along with that it also builds the participative leadership among the employees, which improves the job satisfaction of the employees. So there will not be much of a attrition that happens, and the satisfied employees are going to be the most satisfied, that they are going to bring the most success to the organization. With this, we are going to complete this importance of organization. In the next video, we are going to see what is the principle of the organization. Thank you.